Can you plants or plants?
Great. It was a Thursday afternoon before a long weekend. I was sitting in somebody else's office, and that's the only reason why my feet weren't up on the desk. You know that you've got 4 days off coming, nobody's screaming at you, I'm cool. And then suddenly, to the door of the office comes the production manager. And he is whining like somebody stole his lunchbox. He needed something urgently for a job, and he had to pick it up on Tuesday after the long weekend. He was ordering it now. So instead of charging 40,000 rand for this, the supplier, a very clever lady, was charging him 60,000 rand. And he was bitching about this. And I'm sitting in the chair going, I don't want to pick fault, but when did you get the order for this stuff? Oh, what do you know? You know nothing. We have it tough downstairs. And I said, okay, so you've had the order for a while, and you're only ordering it now before the 4-day weekend, and she's ripping you. And he said, yeah. So we realized there was a problem with planning and organizing. The fact that there's only one woman in the entire manufacturing division probably explains why. So what they decided to do was bring an outside person in. You know, one of those experts. So here we are. We have 4 hours, and at the end of which we have brown paper in the back, brown paper at the back, brown paper at the back. And we're going to model our process. And we're going to decide what we're going to do next. So we're all sitting in the room, and we decide that we need to plan timelines on these jobs. And everybody says that's great. And then the production manager starts. I agree completely with you. We need to get better at planning. But we don't have anybody to do it. It's a waste of time. It's red tape, and we've always managed fine before without doing planning. And we went on a bit further, and we talked about having the right people in the right jobs instead of just filling boxes. And he said, I agree, I need the right people in the job. But, and then he started talking about people are expensive, people are hard to find. He blamed BEE for something. The people he's got are lazy. This one's too clever, or everything was, he agreed we needed to do it, but we can't do it. And he had this whole attitude that planning was some nebulous thing, something that he needed to do for SHEC. Everybody knows what health and safety is. So he had to do it for SHEC, but it wasn't a real thing. So we got a report, because you always get a report when you get an expert, and then we sat there and went through it. And everything was, yeah, this is great, but, no, we can do this, but. And eventually what happened was, I organized somebody. 3 days we were in the one little store in the factory with one of those label makers, putting codes on everything and descriptions on everything, and little green boxes full of nuts and bolts and washers and bits of copper wire, and making sure we knew what we had in stock. Because we started doing the stuff in the report, we'd literally been doing it for 2 days, and we discovered that they ordered stuff for a job on Monday, and on Tuesday they ordered the exact same stuff for another job, which means you're going to pay more because the guy's got to go fetch it twice. You don't get a discount for a big order. So we decided that we needed to do proper planning. No more but. But we had to figure out why we were always being told but. Because the manager always agreed with us, and we couldn't figure out why. And then we realized he didn't whine when I went and labeled stuff to help him. So he was so busy and so swamped and so disorganized, he couldn't free someone up to organize his life. So because we'd done some of the work, they started to see some space arriving. And I realized then that the problem was he wasn't being snotty. His big butt wasn't because he thought I was just another flippant accountant. His big butt was he was in such a mess that he didn't have time to get out of it before the next thing was due to a customer. So in order to resolve this, because that's what the topic is, conflict resolution, we had to understand that his big butt was because he was just overwhelmed. Okay, it's not supposed to be a funny speech, this one. It's a work speech. And he actually needed specific targeted help, not some nebulous report. He needed specific help attaining certain goals so that we could set things up. And then his butt would become small. Thank you.